Hi guys, so this is Lee et al. We are doing the whole shaboodle in one go. Straightforward study, apart from the results, but I've got them as simple as I can get them. Simple background as well, so no stress. And we're going to get all this work done for when we're back in next week. Okay, yes. So, what did we learn from Kohlberg's crazy theory and study? We know that morality are values that help us determine what's right and wrong. We go through our moral development one stage at a time in rough age groups ish, but the speed does vary, and culture, okay, it's appeared not to, but this study is going to delve more into different cultures, so we need to understand what cultural norms are and stuff like that. So culture, attitudes and patterns of behaviour, norms, the common idea that most people will abide by. Okay, so cultural norms help explain why people from different cultures, same cultures, act the same way. Okay, and it depends on what culture. Could be a very small group of friends who look the same, dress the same, like the same music, or to a big country. Okay, so why Brits don't seem to have to follow lockdown rules when they get loosened a little bit, for example. Why we like queuing, that type of thing. Okay. And where we're going with this? We're actually going to talk about more lying today, in this study, which is really interesting. Okay, and Piaget, talked about him last time. He kind of said that kids couldn't lie; they just didn't get it. Basically, if you lie, it's immoral. And what this study is going to look at is if that's true or not, because we had some counter argument, more modern. So what I want you to do, just for a bit of fun, watch this YouTube search, kids learn to lie about eating sweets. Okay, amazingly funny, and it shows you the difference, the brains of different age kids and how they process their lying. Okay, dead funny, dead funny. Um, so, um, Piaget kind of said kids couldn't lie, they didn't get it, but more kind of observations appear that kids can distinguish between lying and, like, sometimes you can lie for a good reason. Like my 8-year-old can definitely get that. He knows when we can wink and know that there's a lie when we're not certain if there is or not. So, Sweetser proposed that the ability of lying and understanding lying is a cultural thing, okay? Because that's where we get our kind of morals from. But as I said, there's kind of no real kind of proper study to prove this. So this is what we kind of wanted to kind of try and do. Okay, was to try and get this research that was cross-cultural, different backgrounds, different types of kind of characters. Okay, so that's kind of the idea behind this. Yeah, so it's just like to get this right. And what's great here, we've got completely different. We've got Western culture of Canadian kids versus Chinese kids in China, obviously, where and what we're going to look at is when people do good or bad things and their intentions, and is there a cultural difference here? It's really interesting to find out. I don't think I've explained that very well, but read the study. So I asked you to do some research last time about these two terms. Okay, the first one is self-effacement. So the act of making oneself look. You have humility, for example. You're humble. You don't want to big yourself up. What are the two cultures would you say are more self-effacing? Canada or China? The opposite is self-aggrandizement. You big yourself up. Look at me. I am great. I am here. I am fantastic. Okay, so these terms are important because they kind of separate the two cultures a little bit. I know that's a stereotype, okay, but that's what they're kind of looking at here as the cultural norms. So We want to understand about kids' understanding of morals and lying. Okay. And is it okay to lie for good reasons? That's basically what the study I'm looking at. So we've got, I love this. I apologise if this is any type of stereotyping, but in China we've got 120 kids. Okay, we've got 47-year-olds, 20 male and female. We've got 49-year-olds. We've got 40 11-year-olds, 20 males and females. In Canada we got 108, so we've got 36 7-year-olds, 49-year-olds, 32 11-year-olds, all different males and females. It just makes me giggle that China can do the study what I would do proper. Okay, you get the same sample size of each age group, same genders, and kind of whether we couldn't find them, so we just haven't got them. Okay, obviously a sampling issue, not a massive one, just annoys me really. Why can they just find 20 males and 20 females of those ages in Canada? Just go to a different school. Like, it would have been that simple. So clearly a cross-cultural design. Okay, and we've got these different age groups. Okay, so that's what we're kind of looking at here. So obviously independent measures, but kind of matched in the same. Well, it's not matched, but kind of like that. We've got the comparison groups, which is really important. So, a bit to kind of get yourself your head around. Okay, you either had a social story or a physical story. Okay, social stories were involving people. Okay, not getting along, and physical were involving objects. Okay, they were seen to be good, solid examples that different cultures would understand. This is an example of one. Okay, so this is what they were kind of asked to do. A boy named Jimmy had joined Paul's class, and Paul decided that he didn't like him. Paul went over to Jimmy, and when the teacher was not looking, Paul pushed Jimmy to the ground and made him cry. So clearly that is a social story. Okay, is what Paul did good or naughty? We'll come on to how they rated them. Okay, so that's question one. And more importantly, when the teacher came over to see Jimmy was right, he said, "Oh dear, Jimmy has been hurt." The teacher then asked Paul, "Do you know who hurt Jimmy?" Paul said to him, "I didn't do it. Liar, liar, pants on fire." Okay, so that is an antisocial lie-telling story. Okay, he's been bad, antisocial, and he's lying. Another example, this is a physical story, which is a pro-social. So Alex's class had to stay inside, so Alex, being a good egg, helped tidy up the classroom for his teacher. Here's what Alex did, good or naughty. Very good, well done, we like Alex. Okay, so that's the deed of the story. And then the teacher returned and said, "Oh, someone's cleaned my class. Alex, do you know who cleaned the room?" And Alex said, "I did not do it." So that's the lie, isn't it? So again, okay, this is a pro-social and is lying. Okay, so kids did this individually, but they had to rate the deeds and the lying. So if they said it was a really good thing, they gave it 3 star. 2 stars, it was just a good thing. Okay, and down to your crosses. They use this graphical way so the younger kids would understand what the stars and crosses mean. It's like reward charts and that type of thing. So the results. Okay, so hopefully you got your head around the kind of different stories. We're not going to focus on loads because there was no difference in antisocial behaviour. They found no difference in ages, cultures, or anything. When people do bad things, we know it's bad. Okay. However, when it's good things, we have differences. Okay, so this is a graphic. Okay, that kind of, if you kind of look at it. Okay, so the white bar was it a good deed? How good a deed it was? Okay, and like if you see the difference between the age groups, so this was 7, 9, 11, and then in China, if you see the white kind of things in Canada, they're roughly the same. It's a good deed stays a good deed, and how good a deed it is. And in China, it gets less and less. So it kind of suggests that doing a good deed, you just should do them. As you get older, you kind of know you should do them. But then the truth, how important it was to tell the truth, is really important. In Canada, like again, there's a fluctuation, but roughly-ish the same. But in China, again, we've got this downward kind of trend. It's like, yeah, telling the truth is just what you do. Like, okay. So the difference we have there. Also, it's the idea of telling a lie. Okay. So I'm only looking at the black bars here. So in Canada, a lie seen as a little bit of a bad deed. You kind of less light kind of goes up a little bit, but it's you just don't lie. Okay. But in China, when you lied about helping, oh, it wasn't me. He says you get older, like it's a good thing to do because they are self-effacing. Okay, they don't say, "Big, look at me, aren't I great?" So that's kind of the important kind of finding there. Okay, so I've got some numbers for you. So 70% of the Chinese 11-year-olds rated lying good, compared to only 25% of the 7-year-olds in China. So it shows you that as you get older, as you develop, you understand that lying can be a good thing. Okay, and that's probably in a good for good situations. Okay, if it's not to big yourself up. So because Chinese children are taught about self-effacing, their morality kind of fits with that as they kind of grow older. Okay, so this kind of suggests that our culture, as how we've been raised, does influence our morality in terms of when lying is for a good reason. Okay. Get your study summary done. Oh, it's a little bit different. Mixed it up. So pause this, get this done before you do the next thing. Evaluation, we've got qualitative data again, self-report again, ethics fine, reliability, very same stories, all standardized, all the kids did the same things, valid, face validity, yes, ecological validity, yes, but it's still only what would you like, what do you think, not what would you do, and good sample in terms of different cultures, size is okay, love a bit more years, but all fine. Okay, so very similar to Kohlberg, but it's a bit more reliable, a bit more standardized. So things to do, quite a lot. Do them all, please. Okay. Yeah, and we're trying to get this done really.